Quarter after the hour, our historical series on Hamilton's retail trends continues with a look back at the evolution of the shopping mall.
That's right. As Natalie Marconi tells us, Hamilton was once a pioneer in this sector, but as our malls got bigger and better, other retail outlets paid the ultimate price.
Canada's first indoor shopping mall, the Lister Block. The pre-Depression era was a time of great economic growth, so its elaborate terracotta and fine craftsmanship were not considered much of a gamble at the time.
If you like to watch the bangtails run, the Hamilton Jockey Club has one of the finest tracks in the entire country.
But by 1952, Hamiltonians were spending less on gambling and more on goods, forcing the sale of the Jockey Club, which made way for the Greater Hamilton Shopping Centre, another major tourist destination for Hamilton to advertise.
From downtown, Mother and Nancy visit the Centre, Canada's largest shopping plaza, where more than 60 retail stores and services provide excellent shopping. Mother and Nancy make the rounds, stopping in the mall to look at the fountain and to catch their breath.
The Centre, which became Centre Mall, defied its name and became the primary shopping outlet for East End residents. And as the population at that end of the city continued to grow, so did retail demands. Fiesta Mall, at the corners of Queenston and Grey Roads, was once the site of Hamilton's first drive-in theatre. By 1973, Eastgate Square gave Stony Creek residents even less reason to drive downtown. During this period of mall mania, Hamilton city councillors had actually considered expropriating the now lackluster Lister Block to make way for a new city hall. Mayor Vic Copps was in favor of a downtown shopping mall, just not at the Lister Block.
I think it's very important and very fitting that in the 125th anniversary year, we're doing things that are almost historic in terms of the changes that they're going to make in the city. And I'm thinking particularly of the Civic Square, the Jackson Square development.
A venture that was considered the largest urban renewal project of its time in Canada. Jackson Square opened in 1970 and paved the way for a civic centre that included the Hamilton Convention Centre, the Hamilton Place Theatre, the Art Gallery of Hamilton, and the Central Library. But Jackson Square's sizzle had fizzled when plans for a bigger and better mall emerged a few years later. And contrary towards the push downtown, city councillors made a bold and controversial decision to allow for commercial development on a barren stretch of Upper Wentworth Street. Plans to build Lime Ridge Mall were unveiled in the late 1970s. Developers hoped its sheer size would attract curious Hamiltonians who were believed to have been spending their hard-earned dollars elsewhere.
Instead of the income of Hamilton going to other centres like Toronto and whatnot, we feel that it's an excellent opportunity for it to be spent right here.
The city was wooed by the improved tax base and surrounding development Lime Ridge would eventually bring, while others scratched their heads at the idea of a mall in the middle of nowhere. But developers secured lease commitments for 80% of the retail space before the building even had a roof, silencing any doubters that remained. With over 200 shops, Lime Ridge Mall has been Hamilton's dominant shopping destination since it opened its doors in 1981. But its doors weren't always open, at least not 7 days a week. In fact, there was a time when stores closed before sunset and stayed closed on Sundays.
Of course, many of us just can't imagine how we could get all our shopping done if stores weren't open on nights and weekends. Tomorrow, Natalie shows how the Sunday shopping revolution unfolded.